Not good, bad, real bad. But good because now I can get you laid a lot. It is great to be single, hey. I love a woman. She's with another and she doesn't want to know it. Fuck her. I mean, could you believe?
¿No hay nadie aquí? ¡Encontré a uno de ellos! ¡No me jodas! ¡Puta madre! ¡Adelante, con prisa! ¡Hijos de... ¡Al parido! ¡La chiva! ¡Mierda! ¡Gonorrea!
The dead guys looked like soldiers in one of those Central American guerrilla armies. Pirates with a manifesto. Psychos with a dream. That sort of bullshit. The radio. Maybe I could send out an SOS.
Disparos en la cubierta inferior. Vete a ver qué pasa. Asegúrate de que los burros no derrochen municiones con los tripulantes. Todos los demás siguen buscando.
It certainly wasn't the first time I'd woken up with a hangover, long after a party had turned sour. need to get out of the boat's hull and onto the upper deck as soon as possible was countered by the probability of running into another hijacker. I had to move carefully.
¡Está ahí!
Fire was sucking oxygen from the room. I didn't care if I got shot the second I got out of there. I needed one more gulp of fresh air before I died. It was like the need for a wake-up whiskey after a 2-day bender. How to shut off the fuel feeds. I shut down one engine, but it didn't make much difference. There. I could breathe again. Now the boat could get back to smelling like suntan oil, stale margaritas, and greed.
¡Camaradas, cúbreme! ¡No te preocupes! ¡Estoy apuntando!
So this was the famous Panama Canal. We could have gone to the moon while I was passed out and I wouldn't have noticed. While I'd been dead to the world, some of my shipmates were just plain dead. Where had they taken them? Booze, coke, pills. You could get whatever party favor you wanted on this vessel.
¡Pero qué tiroteo! ¡Somos profesionales! ¡Era bien chévere, marica! ¡Qué chiste! ¡Te voy a matar!
It was a different scene than the one I'd stumbled away from. Where was everyone? I still didn't know what the hell happened. I didn't like to think what was behind the door. The guys up ahead weren't dealing with passengers like the rest of them. Maybe I should have realized then that this was no ordinary kidnap job. Something on the boat had attracted the sharks.
Aquí no hay nada. ¡Miguel! ¡Vení para acá!
I was on a ghost ship in a ghost canal. The whole thing creeped me the hell out. Daphne's ship was always stocked. The boat was well appointed. Maybe there was something on the bridge. I checked every other inch of the boat. I spotted Passos and Marcelo. If I'd known back then that they'd been up to no good while I was fighting my way through a band of violent paramilitaries and a worse hangover, I might not have wanted to get over to them so bad.
Hey, Passos!
At the time, I hadn't thought too much about this. I hadn't thought too much about anything. Now I remember it, it didn't seem quite so kosher.
What about, what's her name? Daphne.
Do whatever you think is best.
I think it's best we try to go find her.
Yeah, okay, let's go.
See? I didn't think Passos was a bad guy. He didn't need to try to save this woman or the crew.
Through here.
I didn't realize you knew your way around here. They were using that building to get across the canal. There was some equipment in the truck next to me. It'd be a shame to see it go to waste.
Come on, I don't know how much time we have. Go, 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 go!
I don't know what I expected to find. On a boat full of drunks and bullshit artists, I'd been a cabaret act. Shooting whatever came in front of me was easier than coming to terms with that reality.
No,
looked like the way up, but it was locked. I had to find a switch. My own private welcoming party. I blocked out all my questions. All I thought about was getting to Daphne Bernstein before it was too late. Jesus Christ.
Fuck, man. This is brutal. I didn't think things would be like this.
I should have jumped in that goddamn canal myself and swum my way back to New York.
Let me ask you again, Max. What do you think you were really doing in Panama?
I was drinking.
People died. Innocent people. Who do you think robbed you?
I don't know. I was told it was people who disliked Daphne Bernstein, something about an unpleasant divorce.
Her ex-husband worked on Wall Street. Do you think he has easy access to Panamanian death squads?
Guess I didn't really think about it.
You were smuggling something, weren't you?
No. I mean, I didn't realize it at the time. I didn't think too much about it, but yes, Marcelo did drive off with something. I don't know what. I didn't see him until we got to Brazil a week or so later.
I think it was money. I think Marcelo and Victor have a friendly banker there in Panama. Your little cruise was to deliver the cash to him because there it's easier to launder.
But I thought the Broncos were rich.
Rodrigo's rich. The other two, they live well, but they don't have real money. Victor's campaigns were always financed by his brother. That is the way among certain rich families there. The eldest brother is the king. You know, he gets everything. The other two, not so much.
And now Rodrigo's dead.
Exactly. And Marcelo, too. It's an awful tragedy for Victor, huh? A man running on a law and order ticket, you know, whose brothers have both been killed in such terrible circumstances. A true patriot.
What about Marcello?
Marcello was an idiot. Were this true, I certainly don't believe he could possibly have known about it. But I do believe some other scheme, some other bullshit. Whatever that cash was, Victor could have talked him into something. I don't know yet.
And Passos?
Well, Passos is a bum ex-cop. He failed in America, failed in Sao Paulo. He was surrounded by more money and more poverty than his tiny little head can handle. You think guys like that can't be bought?
No, but
But nothing. He's probably not a bad guy. He's just a man caught in the crossfire of a very rich family.
What about me?
You. You're the fall guy. The American. Running around, acting like the action hero. Killing lots of people. You're a stroke of genius.
That ain't how it is.
You were an angry ex-cop. You were sitting in a bar with a history of violence and a history of a bad temper. You were perfect.
Me and Passos went to the academy together.
Did you?
I don't fucking know.
Okay, let's take a drive, Max. Want to do some good? Want to get yourself killed in a good cause? Then I need you to check something out for me.
Like what?
That incident at the favela today. Now, some of my officers say a bus drove off some captives.
They did, I saw it.
But no captives were ever booked.
They probably handed them off to the paramilitary death squads, the,
Caixa Preto?
Right.
Who did?
I don't know, the cops. The other cops. The cops who shoot on sight.
The UFE.
Right.
Max, you see that building there?
Imperial Palace Hotel?
Yeah, that's what it says. People go in there in large groups under armed guard. But it isn't a police station, and no one comes out of there.
Why don't you just go in and bust the joint, get a warrant?
I'm only a cop, Max.
So you keep saying. Time to find out what was going on here. I didn't fancy booking myself in the presidential suite, so went looking for the basement. I wasn't too excited about the acoustics in this place. A couple of gunshots would sound like I'd walked in here with a goddamn marching band. It wasn't pretty, but I guess none of what was about to happen was gonna be. It was the question I kept on asking myself. How could I have been so blind? I was convinced the Broncos had gotten the wrong man for the job, but maybe De Silva was right. I was the stooge. The bad joke everybody got but me.
Tá pesado pra caralho, tá cheio de chumbo. Comeu boi.
Either those guys wheeled their trash out on stretchers, or something was seriously wrong here. The Imperial Palace Hotel was a five-star, bona fide shithole. I needed to find out why guests were checking in by the busload and checking out by the bag load. Maybe the service would be better upstairs.
isso daqui pro seu velho, filho da puta!
I knew this thing was bigger than me, bigger than the Broncos, but I only had a glimpse of the whole picture. Like looking in the mirror and for an instant seeing what everyone else sees, a bad caricature of a better man. Ufe. That deal at the favela was getting dirtier by the minute. Those bastards were clearly in bed with the Crusher Prado. Now I just had to find out why. Starting with a bit of bedtime reading for Mr. Da Silva. When you've lived the kind of life I've lived, reality comes at you through a different lens. But nothing could have prepared me for what was on the other side of that door. I had to get those poor bastards out of there.
Get him out of here. Go. Go. Quick. I said get...
Serrano. He looked pathetic. A man defeated. I walked away and left him to his own personal nightmare. Whatever hell this was Da Silva had sent me into, I knew I had to put an end to it. I had no choice but to push on. I didn't understand everything, and I never would, but I understood enough. Sometimes a complicated problem is best tackled with a simple solution.
Já que está tudo certo, o que você acha que aconteceu a última vez? Não deve ficar mais um erro. Tá tudo aqui, meu. Então vamos lá.
This was hell on earth. De Silva was no fool. I'd have driven on off into the sunset too if I were him. But I was in too far now.
What the fuck is going on here?
How much do you want?
What have you been doing?
I am a doctor. I help people.
What have you been doing here?
It's easy for you. Listen, I know people. They will kill you. I can help you. Trust me. Please, please.
What have you been doing?
I have a lot of money. Look, look. Lots of money. I do important research. Please.
Caralho! Caralho!
Espera, espera. Eu posso explicar tudo. Tudinho. Não, não. Por favor. Pelo amor de Deus. Por favor, não me mata. Não, não. Pelo amor de Deus.
E aí, Jotô?
For all Serrano owed me, he'd paid enough. For now, I had bigger debts to call in. Even I could guess what demolição meant. That building was condemned in more ways than one. They had a fucking arsenal in here. It was time to bring this little hellhole to the ground, so I decided to put some of their C4 to good use. I'd seen some dark shit in my time, but this was something else. These vermin had gone into a place where life was cheap and found a way to get rich off it. I just wanted to finish this and get far away from here. But then, true to form, more of the rats came out of their holes.
Vocês ouviram isso? Quem sai desse prédio desse cara tá morto.
At least my visitors have been kind enough to leave the gate open. It was time to see what VIP treatment awaited me on the penthouse floor.